There are several different tremolos that you can use for both classical and flamenco guitar. The most popular one for classical guitar is the 4-note tremolo, which involves the thumb, ring finger, middle, and index finger, or P, A, M, I. The flamenco tremolo, or the 5-note tremolo, is almost identical, except it throws in an I finger in between P and A. So whereas the classical was P, A, M, I, and repeated, the flamenco one is P, I, A, M, I. The other one that you saw in the demo is a 3-finger, 3-note tremolo, which is used often in either one classical or flamenco guitar, sometimes even folk music that's transcribed for the classical guitar, and that was P, M, I on repeat, P, M, I, P, M, I. Now keep in mind, these are not the only tremolos out there. These just happen to be the most popular ones, especially for classical and flamenco guitar, but there can be 6-note tremolos, 8-note, 9 notes, etc. For example, famous flamenco guitarist who recently passed away, named Manolo Sanlúcar, wrote a beautiful piece called Oración, which is in the style of rondeña in flamenco guitar, that seems to have an infinitely long tremolo. It sounds like this. But for the purposes of this video, we're just going to focus on these three that I mentioned: the classical 4-note tremolo, the 5-note tremolo for flamenco, and the 3-note tremolo that can be used in either genre. I want to break down the mechanism and setup for the tremolo to make sure that you are off to a good start. First of all, it doesn't matter what leg your guitar is on. I have mine on the right leg for 2 reasons. 1, because it's easier for the camera, and 2, because I actually do play both classical and flamenco on either leg. It really makes no difference. You should be able to play both genres on either leg. Just pick the leg that feels most comfortable for you at any given point. What is important is to make sure that your lower back is comfortably straight, your shoulders are relaxed, you're not hunching over at the neck or upper back. And then as far as your arm goes, make sure that your right arm is resting comfortably on the side, on the edge of the guitar, and that you have natural and comfortable flexion in the right wrist. You don't want to have any extension at all. That's where you bend back. You don't want to have excess flexion because you're going to be compressing the tendons and the nerves when you do that. That's not good. And you always want to eliminate or minimize your sort of lateral flexion or ulnar. It's called ulnar deviation. All right, just be natural. Okay, notice if I let my hand hang like this, my thumb is to the left, my left, or your right, of the index fingers, to the outside. It's not inside like this. Okay, make sure you're relaxed. This is the position, relationship of thumb to index that you want when you play the guitar. So with that said, let's start off with our setup. So place all the fingers and the thumb on the first string. I'm gonna sit at this angle so you can see the setup here. So thumb, index, middle, and ring fingers, not the pinky. We're gonna leave that one out for now. Again, make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Notice I have a little bit of flexion in my wrist, in my right wrist. That amount of flexion is going to vary per person depending on your arm length, your hand length. Just make sure, again, you're not over flexing and you're certainly not extending. So comfortable, relaxed, good amount of flexion. All right. The other thing that you want to notice and you want to make sure of is that each finger in the right hand has a natural and comfortable amount of curvature. So they're not straight and they're not really too curved. It's very comfortable, very relaxed. So as far as the thumb goes, it's really simple. Make sure that it slides off the string. You don't want to be muscling through it. It shouldn't feel strenuous. It should feel pretty easy. So that's the movement of the thumb. Notice that I'm not doing this. I'm not bending at my middle knuckle, or my tip joint actually. I'm moving the knuckle from here, from the largest part of my thumb. That's where you want to move from, okay? As far as the fingers go, I am an A, you want to make sure that they move upward toward the ceiling. So I'm going to use all three fingers you can see. I'm going to go upward like that, upward. Okay? Notice once again, the movement comes primarily from my basal joint, or the largest knuckle in my hand. That's the primary mover of my fingers. It's not this. I don't want to move from the middle joint. If I do that, I'm going to get a really kind of ugly popping sound. If I move from the basal joint and focus on relaxing my fingers, I'll get a nice round, even sound. That's the sound that I'm looking for. So for now, you can mute the guitar. Strings, just lightly put your left hand on the strings. And we can call this exercise 1. We're just going to move just the fingers upward. So for now, place the thumb on the 6th string, just to get it out of the way. Okay, and we're going to move upward. So let your tip joints collapse. Just think about relaxing your entire finger. It's okay if you hit multiple strings for now. So you can all the way up, almost as if you want your fingertips to touch your wrist. Really kind of reach back there, okay? And you want to do so very, very lightly. So you want to make sure that you're working with minimal physical effort. Just enough to get the fingers to move. Once they get to the top of their movement, you want to relax immediately, not extend. I'm not physically extending, I'm literally just letting my fingers drop. So let's practice. Plant, we're going to go up, relax the fingers, relax the tip joints, relax the fingers completely, let them drop. Plant, play, relax. Plant, play, relax. One more, plant, play, relax. The next thing that we want to do is make sure that you relax immediately at the top of the movement. So it should be 2 movements now. Plant, play, relax. Plant, play, relax. Plant, play, and relax. Obviously, I'm using all 3 fingers at the same time. With the tremolo, we do use each finger individually, right? But I want you first to make sure that your finger movement is correct. So we want to avoid this, okay? For exercise 2, we're going to put the thumb back on the 1st string. We're going to release these fingers. They're going to be hanging comfortably. And we're going to work on staccato notes. Staccato means short notes. All right? So what we want to do is play the note and then mute that same string with the next finger in the sequence. So if I play with P, I want to mute with A. P, mute with A. A, mute with M. M, mute with I, mute with P. Again, P, mute with A. The next exercise is going to be legato notes. Legato notes are long notes. We're going to start with the same position, just the thumb on the 1st string. And this is the only time we're going to plant. After this, we're not going to plant any fingers. The fingers are going to hit the strings from the air, like a sweeping motion. So first P, and now A from the air. You can see it in the camera here, from the air. Relax, M, I from the air, P from the air. A, M, relax, I, relax, P, relax. A, relax, M, relax, I, relax, P, relax. Make sure that the fingers are moving in the correct manner. Think of your large knuckles. Are you moving the fingers upward from the large knuckles? Or are you bending at the middle joint? Make sure you're moving upward from the large knuckles. Is your shoulder relaxed? If not, relax it. Is your lower back comfortably straight? Are you hunching at the neck? Make sure to get rid of all that stuff. Okay? So legato notes. I'm not planting at all. Okay? All right? What you can do in practice is alternate your staccato and legato notes. I would recommend practicing both of these on open strings. So for example, you can go staccato on the 1st string, legato on the 1st string, staccato on the 2nd, legato on the 2nd. So for example, like this. Again, staccato, now legato, 2nd string, legato, etc. And I would recommend going through all the strings. It's not often that you play tremolos on the bass strings, but go through it anyway because it's going to be more reinforcement and more variability for the technique. For exercise 3, we're going to be working on playing with an even sound across all the fingers. So what tends to happen often is that the thumb is louder than the other fingers. So for example, I'm exaggerating it obviously, but we don't want that. We want an even sound. So in order to do that, we have to practice accenting each finger. All right, so the first thing we can do is accent the thumb like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb, ring. P, A, M, I. One more, P, A. Now we're going to accent A. P, A, M, I. P, A, M, I. Now M, P, A, M, I. P, A, M. Now I, P, A, M, I. P, A, M, I. Okay, this is a great practice that you can do again across all the strings. Another thing, if you want to up your game a little bit, add a little bit of a challenge to your evenness playing, you can count in threes and accent every third note of your 4-note tremolo. It sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. I'm playing with legato notes. You can do this with staccato or legato notes. Okay, and then the last part is to play evenly. Really be careful with this one. Right, really listen very, very deliberately at your sound. What you're going for above everything else initially is an even volume. Second, you're going for a balanced tone, so try to get them all to sound the same or almost identical. Okay, much easier said than done, so take your time with that. Next exercise, we're going to get the thumb moving, all right? The thumb is going to move up and down the strings, and the tremolo fingers are going to remain where they are on the first string. We're going to start on the first string, so it's going to be P, A, M, I, then second string P, A, M, I, third string P, and so forth. So here we go. And P, A, M, I. Second string with P, third string P, fourth string, fifth string, sixth string, fifth string, fourth, third, second, first. Okay, one quick note about this. You want to make sure to get your thumb moving toward its target note while you're playing. So I don't want to go and then last minute move to the second string, and then last minute move to the third string. I want to go like this, second string, so first string, ready with my thumb at the second string, move my thumb up to the third string, thumb is moving up to the fourth string, fifth, sixth, okay? It's a little bit of a tongue twister, but take your time. Make sure to set up your thumb correctly. Next exercise is to keep your thumb where it is and move your fingers, okay? We'll start on the sixth string this time. It's going to be P, A, M, I. Thumb stays on 6, fingers move to the fifth string, P, A. Now fingers move to the fourth string, third string, back the other direction, third string, fourth string. Okay, now one quick note, I don't expect you to go this fast if you're just learning this, so please make sure that you pause the video to work on these exercises. A little bit, you can unpause. Of course, you can watch this later multiple times to get all the details down, but really take your time. It's very, very important that you operate with as little effort as possible. Minimal physical effort in the right hand, good tone, You want to make sure that your rhythm is even. So you want to, every time you hear this tremolo, you want to make sure you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, right? Like a metronome. Think of it as second. You can think of it as the click of a second hand on a clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? Very even rhythm. Next exercise, we're going to split. Okay, so we're going to start with the thumb on the 6th string, fingers on the 1st string, and we're going to go one time with each of those. So P, A, M, I. Now 5 and 2. P, A, M, I. 4 and 3. 5 and 2. 6 and 1, and repeat. Okay. Again, take your time, go slowly. So now let's add a really simple chord progression to the left hand so that you have a little bit more of a musical context going on here. It's not just open strings that can be a little bit boring. If you have a tremolo passage from your current repertoire that you're working on, maybe you're not too satisfied with it, work on it in the same way that we worked on these exercises today. But instead of just blowing through the whole phrase, pick just the first chord or the first couple of chords and work on those chords with these rules in mind. Remember, rhythmic evenness, and then minimal physical effort in both hands. Press very lightly with the right hand, with the left hand. Press very lightly, play very lightly with the right hand. Keep it loose, keep it relaxed. Avoid tension, at least unnecessary tension at all costs. All right, so with that said, here's a quick chord progression that you can use in your playing. We're going to start with A minor. Then we're going to go to G13, F major 7 sharp 11, and E add flat 2 or add flat 9. Okay, this is a progression that's common in flamenco. No doubt you've heard that before. This is the E flamenco progression, E Spanish Phrygian progression. It's an A minor, A harmonic minor progression, starting on A minor and then going to G. So 1, 7, 6, 5. You can think of it that way. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to move the thumb 4 bass notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back the other direction 3 bass notes, 1, 2, and then the restart would be that one. That's the first time. So it's going to be 5th string, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Now we switch chords to the G13, and that's going to be 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. Then the F, major 7 sharp 11, or you can call it an F flamenco. 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, and then our E flat, add flat 2 or add flat 9. 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we're going to add the 4-note tremolo, classical tremolo to this. Once again, you can use any tremolo that you want. You can use the flamenco tremolo, 5 notes. You can use the 3-note tremolo. In fact, I would encourage you to practice all of them. It doesn't have to be in the same day. You can do one today, one tomorrow, you know, a different tremolo every couple days, however you want to do it. But definitely try to get all those in there. Okay, so the tempo is going to be like this. 5, 4, 3, etc. Ready? And 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. Switch. 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5. Switch. 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, One quick note, you can use, for the thumb, free strokes or rest strokes. So in this case, you've noticed I use some of each. So rest, free, free, rest, 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 free, free, free. The reason you would do that is for aesthetic purposes, aesthetic preferences, maybe to bring out a particular melody, melodic note. So rest strokes are a little bit more present, they're a little bit more percussive. Free strokes are a little bit lighter, a little less percussive. So keep that in mind. There's no right or wrong for classical or flamenco guitar. Please, when you play, don't limit yourself to one or the other. Pick the stroke, the rest stroke or the free stroke. Pick the one you use, that you want to use based on the sound that you're looking for. So I think that's very important and something that is often neglected. Remember that when you practice these exercises or any of your exercises, you want to play with minimal physical effort in both hands. So very lightly in the right hand, very lightly in the left hand. Don't worry about volume initially, especially when you're just learning a technique. Think more about relaxation and the correct movement, relaxation and precision. As that technique gets better, starts to feel more comfortable, then you can push your tempo a little bit. You can start playing with your dynamics or your range of volumes, but initially just focus on relaxation. So if you want to take your guitar up to the next level, then you're definitely going to want to check out the next video up on the screen here that talks exactly about practice strategies.